In this video, we're going to discuss the new intelligent OS disk pre-staging functionality that's been added to the Nerdio Manager for Enterprise 4.8 release. This functionality builds upon our previously introduced OS disk pre-staging functionality, which allows administrators to specify a time window in which host OS disks are pre-staged in order to provide the required performance for users, while at the same time allowing those disks to be converted to a more economical size when hosts are not in use. The important thing to remember here is that Azure resources, so Azure compute resources, so CPU and RAM are charged as used, so when a device is running. So if your device is turned off, then you won't be charged for the computing, the configured computing resources or the VM size. However, with disks, you will be charged for the configured performance of that disk, no matter if the host is running or stopped. So if you are running premium SSDs, then you will always be charged the cost for premium SSDs, even when the host isn't on, which can lead to a significant impact on costs. OS disk pre-staging allows administrators to specify a running and a stop disk, so when a device is stopped, that disk can be converted to one of the cheaper disk options within Azure, and therefore savings can be realized from the cost of those disks. As mentioned, we've introduced this new intelligent OS disk pre-staging feature for dedicated host pools. And the objective here is that the system will learn a user's behavior and pre-stage the disk based on that behavior. So within the auto-scaling properties of a dedicated host pool, we can enable pre-stage host OS disks. And we can see by default we have a schedule in here, Monday to Friday, 8 AM to 6 PM, some fairly standard working hours. And we can specify a running disk, so premium SSD, to give the user the required performance, and a stop disk, which in this instance is standard HDD, which is the cheapest available, to make sure that we're realizing maximum savings when that device isn't in use. You can see additionally we have this new functionality, use intelligent disk pre-staging for users. And as mentioned, this is a per user setting, which allows the system to learn on a per user basis the behavior of your users and adapt this pre-staging based on their requirements. So we have two different modes, hybrid and automated, and those modes are explained in the mode tooltip. Hybrid mode is designed as a safety net, essentially. So when running in hybrid mode, devices will always, or disks rather, will always be pre-staged according to the schedule specified in this setting. So disks will always still be scheduled between 8 AM, pre-staged rather, between 8 AM and 6 PM. However, the system will learn any additional windows that your users use to perform work activities and build in additional pre-stage windows. So let's assume that some users work an additional 2 or 3 hours on a Saturday. Over the course of a month, that will be learnt, and if that behavior is expected, then the system will automatically pre-stage disks for that additional window. But as I mentioned, we have the safety net to know that we're still automatically pre-staging the disks within our specified window. Within automated mode, disks will be pre-staged for existing users only according to their learnt behavior. So there's a caveat here, which is that if the system does not have enough information to make that prediction, it will fall back to the windows specified in this pre-stage. Generally, we say it's around about 30 days of behavior that needs to be learnt in order to provide us with enough confidence in the data. But assuming we have that information, these disks could be pre-staged for users who perhaps don't start work until 9 AM and perhaps finish at 6 PM, giving us a saving on the cost of those disks. Additionally, if the learned behavior of a user rather is that they don't work Fridays, they work 4 days a week, then that disk will not be pre-staged for them on a Friday, and therefore we can realize additional savings over and above what we would see with standard disk OS disk pre-staging. I hope this video has been useful. Thank you for your time, and we will see you again.